Our first guest tonight has been in more than 40 motion pictures, including The Mark of Zorro. I was in that as well. He was also in Across the Wide Missouri and Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, and for 7 years, he was Mr. Rourke on Fantasy Island. Folks, please welcome Ricardo Montalbán. Hi, Ricardo. Nice to meet you. How are you? Thank you very much for being here.
Oh.
How you doing?
Well, they made me feel cable-rific.
See?
They really did.
See?
Oh, yeah.
He's celebrating National Cable Month. That's very nice. You were on Fantasy Island for 7 years?
7 years.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Got up at 5 every morning, never came home before 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. 7 years.
And it was you and Hervé...
Hervé Vilches.
Now, how did you guys get along?
Very well. Hervé is, he's French, and...
He's from France?
From France.
From France.
From the south of
I guess
France.
that's what French means,
That's
doesn't
right.
Come to think of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And he is delightful. He's very artistic. He's a very good painter, a good artist, a good sense of humor, very charming.
Did he get on your nerves at all? Oh, I'm just joking. I mean,
David, no,
you must have been good friends to work
I probably got on his nerves.
Yeah.
I probably got on his nerves. No, the thing that was funny about Hervé was that he had a little difficulty with the language, you know. I mean, being from Mexico originally, I had a lot of trouble with the language, and he had trouble enunciating certain things, you know. For instance, one day, he was supposed to say, boss, is he here for the grand opening? And so, and so the director says, Hervé, cut, Hervé, it's grand.
For the grand opening.
Grand. He says, ronde. Grand. Ronde. Grand. Ronde. Grand. Ronde. Grand. Ronde. Perfect. Let's shoot it.
Well, actually, he was
There's
just using the French pronunciation.
That's right.
Yeah,
Ronde.
yeah.
They had another time there was a name, an unlikely name for him to pronounce. It would be difficult for me. His name was. He said, "Oh, boss, is that?" The name was Simon Flynn.
Simon Flynn.
Simon Flynn. So we're doing the introductions. Who's that, boss? I said, well, that's Miss So-and-so from Kansas City, who has a fantasy boss. Well, she has... oh, is she related to Simon Flynn? Cut. Do it again. It's Simon Flynn.
Yeah.
Oh, boss, is she related to Flemon Sims? No. Simon Flynn. He couldn't get it. By that time, the crew, we were all laughing.
Sure.
Hervé was laughing. Yeah. And before it took forever to shoot that, you know.
But in his defense, not that he needs anybody to defend him on this count, but that's the kind of thing that anybody can make.
Anybody could happen to.
Sure.
Of course, it's happened to me,
yes.
Yeah. And you get to that point and you get the mental block. But Simon Flynn, it comes out in a Flynn on Simon very often.
now you're on the Colbys,
I'm on the Colbys.
Now, what is that show about? That's like the second half of. Isn't it a continuation of...
Dynasty?
Yeah, Dynasty.
Yeah, they're interrelated somehow.
Yeah.
But no, what it is, it's very funny, you know, because you as an actor, after so many years, you're used to reading a script. And you have the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, an actor never plays the result, but you play the continuity, and you know where you are. You orchestrate the role, you know when to go high. But in this thing, it's a surprise.
Speak for yourself, by the way.
This is a surprise. You open the script, and you read, and then you say, I do what? Comes the total surprise, you know. There you are. However, it's very much like life, David. I don't know what's going to happen to me after I leave the studio, but I know me, and I know how I will react, you know. I'm reacting to you a different way than I react to somebody else. So in this case, it puts you in a certain circumstance, and you react accordingly.
Now, what is your character? You're Zachary...
I am Zach Powers. My original name was Pablo Zacarias. He changes it to Zach Powers.
And he's
an ambitious man.
An ambitious man.
Ambitious, womanizer, you know, a sybarite. He's very... but he has a soft spot in him, you know. And I play him, you know, an evil man doesn't know that he's evil. He does things that are evil in the eyes of others, but he thinks it's perfectly legitimate for him to do certain things.
Is this guy a wealthy man?
Very wealthy. Yeah. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. But you know...
And are you related to the Carringtons at all?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No. Pablo Zacarias? Not
No.
No, but you know, on one occasion I did a guest shot in Dynasty. I was supposed to have a scene with Samantha, Joan Collins.
Joan Collins is Samantha?
Is it Samantha? No, what is it? Please help me.
Alexis.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on the Colbys, not Dynasty.
Yeah.
So they give me the script, and it was a very simple scene in which she calls me on the phone, and I said, yes, Alexis. She says, I don't know the name of the person, something like Mabel. Mabel is out, she says, Mabel is out of jail.
Mabel is out of jail.
Mabel is out of jail, and it's written there. My answer is, she is. Now, so now I get to the, I get to the studio and I say, I know, because they never tell you, what's ahead. They just to keep you a little bit in suspense, so you don't become stale. I say, I realize, but that, that she is a very pregnant little phrase. It can be many things.
Sure.
Am I saying, she is?
Yeah.
I mean, scared that she's out of jail to incriminate me?
Right.
Am I saying, oh, she is?
Yeah.
So glad. Am I saying, she is? I don't believe it. Am I saying, oh, is she?
Yeah.
At least give me a clue. What am I? Glad? Scared? What? And they say, well, it doesn't really matter that much to you. So, Samantha, yes, Alexis, Mabel is out of jail. Oh, she is? That
was the whole deal.
That's the whole deal.
And you never found out what she was...
I never found out, nothing.
She is. Okay. We're going to do a commercial there, and then when we come back, we're going to find out whether we've made or lost money in the New Zealand stock market.
I invested in it already.
Oh, you're in on it too? Oh, good. All right. We'll be right back. All right. So we've broken even now. So it's come back up, Paul. Oh. Earlier we were losing 3 cents on the share, and now it's evened out. So our investment is holding its own. Yeah. We're in the Rainbow Entrepreneurial Corporation. They do various investments and so forth. We bought in at $3.15 a share, and it's still holding its own. So far,
sigh of relief.
Not a bad investment. Now, Paul mentioned this earlier. What is the deal? What the hell is? Is there anything really Corinthian leather? Is that anything? It's some kind of vinyl they make in Detroit, isn't it?
No, they found a leather that was very pliable, very soft, and very durable. And I don't know whether it was because of the writer Jim Nichols, who wrote the commercials for Chrysler for me at that time, he wanted to find a word that sounded sort of elegant, that I could say with a little verb, And so Corinthian.
Oh, yeah.
Seemed, you know what I
mean? But does it mean anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Is that well? What does David Letterman mean? It's a name, David.
It's a name.
It's a name.
But it doesn't.
A very good name.
It doesn't refer
like
to a geographic
from
area.
Corinthian.
Or,
No.
Yeah.
It's a trade name.
Trade name.
A trade name.
How did you get that? You were the spokesperson for
yes,
Chrysler for a long
13 years.
Yeah.
I think it's a record. 13 years to be the
How did that happen?
spokesman for I was doing a tour of George Bernard Shaw's Don Juan in Hell, and with.
Now, why do people laugh at that? Why do they laugh at that?
Well, maybe the Hell or Don Juan. I don't know which. But I was doing this tour with making a tour with Agnes Moorehead, God rest her soul, Paul Henreid, and Edward Mulhare. And one of the places that he took us was Detroit. And there in Detroit were people from Chrysler and from Young and Rubicam.
Big ad agency.
The ad agency then. And the writer, Jim Nichols, they were getting ready to do this.
Didn't he write Corinthian leather?
He did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is an original. But they were getting ready to launch a new car called the Cordoba.
Yeah.
See, now, that was very interesting because... I'll tell you what's funny about this, David. You see, actually, the name of the city in Spain, where my father in Mexico, there's a city called Córdoba, where they had a brewery, the branch of a brewery in Mexico. So I know the name Córdoba.
Cordoba.
Córdoba. The accent's on the first syllable.
Córdoba.
Córdoba. Córdoba. Now,
Córdoba.
So now when I said the new car, when I was reading the demonstration for them, I said Córdoba. And they said, no, it's Cordoba. It is?
Yeah, they're telling you.
Cordoba.
Yeah, right.
But not only Cordoba. So I said, well, at least let me say Cordoba. And they did.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how when the names.
I bet
the
you sold a lot of
Spanish-sounding
cars.
names-
Don't you get the feeling you probably? Well, I mean, they had you for 13 years. You must have moved a lot of
I
iron.
think Cordoba was a very successful car.
Yeah.
at that
Did you
time,
have
yes.
one? Did you?
Yeah, always.
Was
yeah.
it a nice car? Or?
A very good car. As a matter of fact, the other day I was driving in my Chrysler, and some kid stopped next to me and he says, "Hi, Ricardo." I say, "Hi." He says, I said, he said, "Have you driven a Ford lately?" And I said, "No, maybe that's why I haven't had a recall in the 13 years I've been with Chrysler." Which is true. I never did. In 13 years, I never had a recall.
What are you working on now? You're in the Colbys, more Star Trek movies?
And the Star Trek movie, I don't know. They left me when I died in Star Trek. It was a definite death. I mean, you saw me really kick the bucket.
Yeah.
But they cut just before I kicked the bucket, so they left it kind of open. So I don't know what was.
So you couldn't be out there again.
But I'm doing the Colbys, David, which is good for me because after doing 7 years of Fantasy Island, the image of Mr. Rourke in the white suit was so strong that I thought it was difficult for people to take me seriously in other roles. Whereas the Colbys is like a halfway house. I mean, it's taking me out of the
halfway house.
Or the man in the white suit to other things. I hope.
Well, I hope it's around for as long as you want it to be around.
We shall see if it's renewed. We're waiting to hear.
It's a pleasure to meet you. You're a terrific man, and thank you for your time. Nice
Vice
to have
versa.
you here.
Thank you.
Ricardo Montalbán. We'll be right back, folks.